Hi, in this video we're going to talk about DeMorgan's laws, and I want to introduce DeMorgan's laws and show you what that means using an example. And of course I'm going to use a Venn diagram in the example. So this is the same survey that we've been talking about in previous videos of these 2,000 farmers. 351 were from Alabama, 1,205 grew beans, 1110 grew cotton, 234 were from Alabama and grew beans, 221 were Alabama cotton farmers, 663 grew both beans and cotton, and 143 were Alabama farmers who grew both beans and cotton. And the question might be, well, let's determine the proportion of those surveyed who grew neither beans nor cotton. Or another question might be, determine the proportion of those surveyed who were not Alabama bean farmers. So let's look at those types of questions. And I'm going to do so. I'm going to set it up with the Venn diagram. So I have this Venn diagram, and we've talked about this before, and we've already talked about how to populate the values in the regions, how to put the numbers in the regions. We put 100, starting with the innermost region, 143, and then work our way out. So we have 143 that were from Alabama, grew beans and cotton, and then if I look at the 663 that grew both beans and cotton, that's the intersection of B and C, but I've accounted for 143, that leaves 520 others. Likewise, I can fill out the other parts of the Venn diagram working from the inside out. So I would have 78 that were from Alabama and grew cotton but not beans. 91 were from Alabama, grew beans but not cotton. 39 were from Alabama but did not grow beans and did not grow cotton. 451 were bean farmers but not from Alabama and didn't grow cotton. 369 were cotton farmers but not from Alabama and did not grow beans. And then finally there were 309 that were outside of all three sets. Okay, so we got all that set up. Did that in a previous video, and now the question is, well, determine the proportion of those surveyed who grew neither beans nor cotton. And so what is our event that we're taking the probability of? This is a proportion of those surveyed. That's a probability. We're taking the probability that a randomly selected farmer did not grow beans, grew neither beans nor cotton, means did not grow beans and did not grow cotton. So that's a B prime intersect C prime. So this is, again, the event farmer did not grow beans and did not grow cotton. So what are we talking about? What numbers are we talking about? So let's start with those that did not grow beans. So I'll highlight that in red. That's the 39 plus the 78 plus the 369 plus the 309. That's the ones who did not grow bean. But I also want to look at also those that did not grow cotton. Well, the 78 plus and the 369 grew cotton, so I need to take them out. And I'm left with the probability that a randomly selected farmer did not grow beans and did not grow cotton would be the 39 plus 309. That's how many. That's the number of farmers that did not grow beans nor cotton, and divide that by 2,000 and I get 17.4%. Now I want to focus a little bit more just to introduce these DeMorgan's laws. Let's look at the number in the intersection B prime and C prime. B prime intersects C prime. That was the 39 plus the 309 that we were talking about. Now, if you add up all the others, so all the others are in black, I'll just keep them in black, and notice that all of the others are adding up. All of the others can be described as the number in the union of B and C. In other words, those are complementary events. If you take B union C, I've accounted for everybody at this point. Everybody's either one in the black number or a red number, and so I've accounted for everybody. Those are complementary events. And so if you look at the B union C, and if I take the complement of B union C, then I get the B prime intersect C prime, and that's DeMorgan's laws. That's one of DeMorgan's laws. So it's let me say it in words. The complement of a union is the intersection of the complement. So the complement of the union I've highlighted in red. That's what's in red is the complement of the union on those last two lines, and then that is equal to the intersection of the complements. So the intersection of the complements is in red now. So that's one of DeMorgan's laws. Let's look at that other question that I stated. Determine the proportion of those surveyed who were not Alabama bean farmers. So these were who were not Alabama bean farmers. So if I take the intersection of A and B, those were who were both A and B. Those were the Alabama bean farmers, and these are not. So I'll take the complement of that. So my event here would be the complement of A intersect B. Now, this is an easy problem to do if you just logically think through this, because I was told there were 234 Alabama bean farmers, and so that's who was in A intersect B. So the probability of A intersect B is the 234 over 2,000, or 11.7%. So then if I'm looking for the probability of the complement of A intersect B, that's the event that I'm interested in here, then it's just 1 minus that value, so 0.883 would be my answer. So I don't really need a Venn diagram to calculate this, but again, I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to introduce DeMorgan's law. So let's go back to this 243 value there being the number in the intersection. And then what I have in black right now, so let me switch the colors actually. So everything that's in black, let's make that red. Now that would be the complement of A intersect B. So that would be the numbers in A intersect B prime. And of course, if I added all of those up and divided by 2,000, I would get the 0.883 that I got before when I was just using complementary events. But now, let's look at the numbers now. Let's look at the numbers themselves. So right now, I have the number in red, I have the numbers that are in the complement of A intersect B. All right? Let's just focus first on the complement of A. So the complement of A would be everything outside of A, so I'll highlight those in red. And now if I union that with the complement of B, then I'm going to add to those that I don't already have what is in B prime, the complement of B. That would be the 39 plus the 78. And notice that now those in red are exactly the same, whether I'm thinking of that as the number of outcomes in A, the number of outcomes in the complement of A intersect B, or the number of outcomes in the complement of A union the complement of B. And in other words, what I've illustrated here is that the complement, so take off the number of outcomes and just look at the sets. It's true on a set level. If you look at the complement of A intersect B, it's the same as the complement of A union the complement of B. And just said it in words. I'll highlight again in words the complement of an intersection then, so that's what I have highlighted in red, is the complement of an intersection is equal to the union, the union of the complements. Okay, so DeMorgan's laws, there's two of them. The first one states that the complement of a union is the intersection of the complements, and the second one says the complement of an intersection is the union of the complements. I think I said that right. Okay, so I've got it written down right, it's worded right. I think I said it right. Okay, well, I will see you in the next video.